In our forecast page here, you will notice that we have a new export. Up on the top, there's 3 different exports. These 2 are covered in other tutorial videos, but this one here, forecasted versus actual, is cool. This is a new export that we just launched. And basically what you can do is you can choose, going back 1 year, you can go back and export monthly forecasts and look how accurate your forecasts were compared to what actually happened. So since we're still in November right now, let's download the October 2023. I'm going to click download, and this is going to process for a few minutes or a minute, depending on how big your account is, and then you'll get an export. Now I've already exported it, so I would just go down here if I'm on Google Chrome, and I would get my export file here. And here is what the sheet looks like. So the first page that we're looking at is forecasted versus actual monthly. And this basically goes over what your forecasts were for the month of October versus your actual sales and the difference in percentages, whether it's negative or positive. Now these look really crazy because this is a demo account and these are all fake forecasts. So most of these products aren't actually selling anything on Amazon, or they're selling very, very low. So we've made ridiculously high forecasts compared to the actual velocity that it's happening. So this is not a great representation of what yours is going to look like. I just want to show you the actual layout. So we've got forecasted versus actual monthly, forecasted versus actual weekly, so week by week in the month. It's the exact same thing, right? And then lastly, what we have is last year, this year versus this month last year. So our actual sales in October versus actual sales in October of last year and the difference. So you can just kind of see year to date, this isn't a forecast, this is just a comparison to this year versus last year. So you can use those and then adjust your forecasts after looking at them. So the main reason people are going to use this is the monthly forecast comparison, right? So for example, if I've got, I'll take a more realistic one like this fidget spinner. So I had put 10% growth on this product. Now here's my actual sales velocity. And let's say that I was actually looking at velocity calculation like this, which is kind of the default method. And there's video tutorials on which I'll direct you to in a minute on how to set up your forecasts, which you always want to do first before you use this. But let's say I was looking at an average of my velocity for the last 180 days, and I'm doing my forecasted with an additional 10% growth on there, as I put here, because I assumed I was going to grow by 10%. So all of my forecasting is based on a 10% growth. Well, I can run that for a while, and then I can go look at after a month or a week, I can go run this and look at, okay, so this product here, which is line number 5, I was off by a lot. Right? Again, these are all fake numbers, so this is probably not going to look like your account. But let's say I was off by 10%. And I could say, well, then this 10% additional growth is not realistic, and I should probably go ahead and just turn that off, right? Because I didn't grow by 10%, even though I forecasted that I would grow by 10%. So there's a lot of tools that you can do in here to estimate the forecast and then retroactively look back and then adjust your forecast settings to get it more and more accurate as time goes on.